Welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video. Today I'm unboxing my newest CGC 9.8 eBay purchase. And this is a book that I really almost bought multiple times pretty much over the last year. Somewhat kind of forgot about it lately, but luckily saw a really nice one pop up in Canada for a decent price. As the title says, $120. And I think if you're a little patient on this, you can get it for less than $100. But I've seen these go for like $130 even. I've seen them go for over $150 at times too, on like a buy it now occasionally. But in general, if you wait for an auction, you probably get it under $100. It's a CGC 9.8 book. It's a Batman book. It's from 2007. Really quickly, I'd invite you to join the team and subscribe to Team CGC 9.8. Really like to have you on our comic book collecting team. And when you press subscribe, the bell pops up. Hit the bell, get all our latest notifications. Add me on Instagram too. That would be great. All the links are in the description below. And, still kind of in the early stages of this channel, I think. So we need all the subs we can get. And, okay, so getting into my newest CGC 9.8 purchase. Really happy to have this one. Fits really good with my collection. We'll look on the CGC census, and there's some comparable books to this book that I could have bought as well, but I think this is kind of the best buy. So it should go pretty quick here. I just basically pre-unboxed it. So. Let me get it out of the plastic, though. Alright, yeah, newest addition to the collection is Batman number 666, the number of the beast. And, this issue's got a lot of really cool things going for it. Kind of obviously the cool things. There's sort of two first appearances. First appearance of Damian Wayne as Batman, and first appearance of Professor Pig, who is a really cool, super psychotic villain. Really nice cover, too. So it's got a lot of obvious things kind of going for it. Looking on the census really quick, there's 161 of these in the CGC 9.8. I thought there'd be a lot more. The 9.8 ratio is 52%, which you almost expect from modern books. It's usually about half of them are 9.8s, because like collecting's a thing by now and CGCing was a thing. So, but to have 161 of these, I thought was a lot less. I thought than what there actually I thought there could be. So I did some comparables with some of the other issues that are kind of close to this, mainly being like Batman 655, which is the first appearance of Damian Wayne in cameo. I think it's on like the last 2 pages or so. So that's sort of become the first appearance of Damian Wayne as for most collectors. That's kind of the issue most people want. So kind of broke it down into sort of 3 reasons why I purchased this book. And so the first reason here, I like that there's only one print of this book compared to 655. 655, cool cover, but there's that red toned cover, and then there's the grayscale cover, which is the variant cover, and that's a lot more limited and a lot more rare and a lot more expensive than the CGC 9.8. But that 655 is very similar price to this book. So I like, though, that there's only one print of this book. It kind of, when there's 2 prints, it sort of gives collectors, a choice to make, whereas, this book is just a sort of a one-off in itself kind of thing. And I love villains. First appearance of Professor Pig is a lot of the reason why I purchased this, too, because I think he's a really cool villain. He's kind of like basically a psychotic surgeon, and they say too, making him that, some of these Batman villains are kind of deranged, but there's no turning back, they say, for Professor Pig. He's just absolutely insane. There's no way Batman could, have any chance of rehabilitating him. So, first reason is I like that there's only one print of this compared to 655. The second reason is 2 first appearances. So you got first appearance of Damian Wayne as Batman, obviously on the cover here, very cool cover too, and first appearance of Professor Pig. So 2 first appearances compared to 1 on 655. And the last reason, number 3, is probably the reason which I like the most is there's only 161 CGC 9.8s of these, and that's a lot less than both the variant cover and the kind of red scale first print cover of 655. So 655, the first print, has 524 CGC 9.8s compared to 161. And the variant cover, which is, I believe it's like $350 in an auction-ish, is where you're about going to pay for the variant cover. Even more if you want it kind of now and to buy it now. There's 237 of those compared to 161 of these. So, yeah, you know what? I just think being that there's less 9.8s out there of this, and, you know, when I tried to buy it last year, I really wanted it, but I wasn't really seeing very many what I thought were fair prices for this book. And I think that's because there's only 161 of these. So, you know, there's a lot of buy it nows out there for like jacked up prices, like over 150, you know, pushing $200 on some of the buy it now prices for this book. And I think it's because there's only 61 out there. There's not very many auctions coming up, but occasionally there has been auctions that I've saw, and this does go usually in an auction for under $100. Like if you're really lucky, you could get it for a good price on an auction. But again, kind of jumped on it for 120. But I really like that there's only 161 CGC 9.8s compared to its most obvious kind of you know, comparable issue is that 655 first cameo appearance of Damian Wayne. And yeah, to see a lot more of those on the census, and then this is I think positive for this book. And even, you know, it doesn't really mean anything at all, but just the 666 number, and you know, Batman has, you know, he's got personal demons, and he's a bit of a darker character. So I think just over time, some people will just be like, oh yeah, you know, like Batman 666 is such a cool collectible issue to have, and plus you get first 2 appearances and a great. Yeah, Andy Kubert cover too. And I think it was Adam Kubert that did the cover on 655. Andy Kubert doing this cover with who's the other? Jesse Delpendang is his name. Jesse Delpendang. And Andy Kubert doing this cover. And I love a lot of Andy Kubert's covers. Yeah, especially like First Gambit comes to mind as one of my favorite of his covers, and he does Batman so well. So yeah, a lot of good things going for this issue. One I've wanted, one that kind of fits into my collection to me having a lot of Batman CGC 9.8 books. And yeah, definitely, you know, when I was comparing it to 655, I feel like maybe 655, the variant, is kind of the one to get, maybe. With 655, there's 524 of those in the first print in the CGC 9.8s. And I tend to just see a lot of those you know, that don't sell for like, you know, 130, 120. Like, there's just a lot of them out there, certainly compared more to this book. I've seen a lot of 655s in the sort of red scale first print edition. Yeah, you see a lot of those CGC 9.8s just not really selling, or there's just a lot out there. And, you know, when you search CGC 9.8 on eBay for 655, just a bunch of them come up usually, even if they are a little bit more elevated in price. So yeah, I just kind of think the pick out of the bunch is Batman 666. Yeah, first, get 2 first appearances. Yeah, Professor Pig too. Again, kind of a crazy, deranged, psychotic surgeon. Never had a movie or anything. Never had any. You know, he was on the Gotham series. Yeah, I should mention that. This book kind of got hot for a bit there in the Gotham series, and I think that's why right now is kind of a good time to buy. I think this, you know, me grabbing this for $119, I think it's a fair price. But during that Professor Pig on Gotham, this Gotham series appearance, which was a couple years ago now, this book did shoot up, and certainly I think a lot of them were going for around maybe $150 on an auction, and even getting closer to $200 in some buy it nows sometimes too. Because yeah, I think Professor Pig, now it's kind of slowed down, but he's got a lot of potential long term to like be in a movie. Like, he's got the pig mask, and he's the crazy, psychotic, deranged surgeon. So apparently he's really smart, but there's just, like I said, the authors, and kind of doing some research for this video, they say like they created him to not be rehabilitated at all by Batman. Like, he's not like maybe like a Harvey Dent type where he could try to rehabilitate him. He's just crazy, psychotic, and yeah, the art's really good in this book too. I do have I believe 2 raw copies of this. Yeah, 1 or 2 for sure. And I got 2 655s in the first print, raw copy though. Not in the CGC 9.8. This is kind of my first CGC 9.8 out of this sort of Batman from the 2007 year with first Damian Wayne. And yeah, to even, first Damian Wayne and first sort of both of these characters haven't necessarily been in a movie or been really prominent in a lot of sort of mainstream type pop culture promotion. So the time to buy is when they're haven't been in it, and then, I'm sure in the next 10 or 20 years, if you got that long of a time horizon, which I kind of do, I kind of feel like I want to hang on to these and enjoy them for that amount of time. I think Professor Pig could be in a Batman movie at some point. So, yeah, I feel like that would be a pretty cool character on screen too. So, you never know. But in the meantime, great cover, great art, 2 first appearances. Looks better more limited and looks better on the CGC Senses than its sort of immediate comparables. So, yeah, I just think it's kind of a really cool Batman issue. If you're on a budget, $120, is not cheap, but certainly you can save up for that, and hopefully you get lucky, you get an auction, and it's like $80 or something. That would be awesome. So, all right, that's going to do it for this video today. Glad to share my newest CGC 9.8 purchase. I got another purchase coming in that I was pretty pumped about, and yeah, tomorrow I'm going to, I had a couple auctions this week that I missed out on, but we'll do our pricing video and talk about a lot of sort of CGC 9.8 prices that went down this week, because yeah, starting to see some like really good deals on some books, so share that with you tomorrow on the pricing video. That'll be all for today though. Thank you very, very much for watching. I'll see you on the next video.